You know, if you think about it, the shovel really was a groundbreaking invention. What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over all of the fun little things inside of our Filer Ool Tuesday vendor here for us. Interesting items this week. Very difficult if there's something in here for you because there's a lot of good items. There's a lot of caveats to those items. So let's just jump on into it. And for those of you who don't know, you just come into here by teleporting into Apocrypha, walk on over to this bad boy right here, and then boom, you're at the vendor. And we start off with the glass skeletal visage, which is a fun little interesting item that I think is definitely worth considering. Let's take a peek here as to what you're looking at. So you're looking at the Gaze of Sithis, one of the coolest items in my opinion in the game, one of the best starter PvP sets to get people introduced to some PvP because it kind of subterfuges your need to block. Let's talk about it. What do you need to do to get this lead? Well, normally you just kill public dungeons in Zenthar's Abbey. However, this lead is notorious for not dropping. And for those of you who are curious, Jake, what is the Gaze of Sithis? Well, it's right here. Adds a lot of health recovery, armor, but you cannot block in the traditional sense. You can still use your Psijic bubble, but normal blocking is not allowed. So that is the caveat to using this item. It's a great PvP set. Gives you a lot of those necessary PvP resources, and it's a great starter set for people. And also in no proc, I don't know if this is still true, but every piece of this works, and you can still block. So on no proc Cyrodiil, this thing was absolutely busted because the only part of it that registered as a proc was the reduce your block mitigation, and then you just got the free block and have all these resources. So there, it was best in slot by a mile. This next one also comes from a bit of a bang air item. That is the Onyx Accent Stone, which actually drops from Hrothgar, and it's going to come from your world bosses. Now, why the Ring of the Pale Order is so essential for you here is that it restores 20% of the damage you deal as health. So basically, best in slot arena item, as you can already tell. And the value is decreased by 4% per ally you are grouped with. You cannot be healed by anyone but yourself, your pets, or your companion. So when it comes to arena builds, this thing takes the absolute cake and is the best thing for you to get. Now, is that lead worth it? Getting the Hrothgar bosses can be annoying sometimes because a lot of people are not farming them. I would still probably suggest that you just kill the Hrothgar world bosses, especially because of the Hrothgar event going on right now. Definitely something you want to do, but it's a great time to do it because it's Ring of the Pale Order time. So maybe instead of buying this bad boy, just head on over and go kill those world bosses with a bunch of people to get those achievements, get those rewards, and get the lead. Next up is Battorg, which is going to be a controversial pick for you because this is a very valuable helmet for you to be able to wear. What does that mean? What does it mean to buy something, for example, with this, but you're not going to be able to resell it? Well, it's like you're getting gifted something that's very valuable, but you can't resell it and you can't gift it to anybody else. So the Battorg style mask here, which is 15,000, is actually a pretty decently expensive item. You can see here that it's 7.8 million. That's how valuable this is to 10 million. And it's still this is PC. It's still very profitable on console. So it's definitely something worth considering as a pickup because of how valuable it has as an intrinsic value, meaning that if you want to have something to wear that has this projected value, you could buy it. But again, you cannot resell it. It's bound to you once you do it. The only way that you can get this unbound is during a specific event period where you can get the Battorg's arm pack. And I go over that in the monthly reviews of ESO, which arm packs are in store. And Battorg's is not on the horizon, is coming up. So it's definitely an interesting item to get. Could be perfect for you. Next up, we have a controversial treasure map pick because treasure maps are notoriously terrible, but Murkmire is interesting because a couple reasons. One, Murkmire, worst world bosses to farm in the world. You could not find me a zone that has worse world bosses than Murkmire. And if you can do it, put in the comments below. Daily question: what world bosses are worse than Murkmire's? Trying to solo those bosses are almost impossible, regardless of what you're wearing, what you're doing, what your builds are. Now, obviously, there's ways that you can do it, sure, but when it comes down to it, Murkmire is terrible. So already, you're not gonna be able to farm the world bosses very easily. Then, on top of that, you can't get rings very easily. So you can't get rings because there's no world events. What are world events? Dungeons, dolmens, invasions like Harrow Storms. zones that actually give you, give you rings, jewelry. If you farm the Alakir Desert, you get jewelry. There's no Daedric invasion inside of Murkmire, and because of that, there's no easy way to get jewelry. So that is what makes it profitable as well. And then finally, to wrap up, you can see the 3 top sets here. The Overland Zone, Bright Throat Boast is one of the best in slot Magicka sets in the game. So on top of everything that we've talked about so far, you're also going to be able to get some of the best sets. Also too, Deadwater, Champion of the Hiss, don't sleep on those either. Also very good sets that definitely have places inside of the meta that can find utilization. So for me, Murkmire 2000 is a really cheap, affordable price point for you guys to get in at if you're trying to turn some of those archival fortunes into gold. What would that look like? Well, you're just going to dig up treasure maps, and then you just sell the loot that you get from them, and bada bing, bada boom, you're going to be making money. Something you will not be making money from, though, but you might be interested in getting is Companion Gear Heavy. The heavy gear for a companion is statistically and mathematically the most common equipment gear to give to your companion because people want tanks. People want their world bosses to be soloed by a tank in the front and them in the back. So they got their Bastion up front because Bastion is the clear meat shield choice that anyone wants to use because if he gets knocked out, killed, it's all right. Nobody wants to risk Isabel like that. Too precious to the world. So Bastion's up there getting absolutely beat down by all the Murkmire bosses, getting absolutely ham-fisted. You're going to want him to be in heavy gear because as soon as he's killed, which he inevitably will be because he's not very good, then they're going to attack you. So you need some vigorous pieces on top of your Bastion. You need some damage reduction pieces on your Bastion. People generally use heavy gear, so it might be worth the gamble for you. Again, these are not resellable pieces. Once you open this, you cannot resell it, but that does not mean that you won't be able to utilize it for yourself, though, which is what this would be for. And then we can skip on past the books, and that leads us now into our trophies, which we start with a trophy card. You guys know how I feel about tribute cards. I think that they're neat that it's in the game. I think it's very cool. I think it's awesome that there's no pay-to-win mechanics inside of the ESO card game. I think that if it was a lot of other card games, that they would have fallen into that trap. I think that's fantabulous. That's amazing. Thank you, ZeniMax. Do I suggest that you spend 4,000 archival fortunes? No. Don't buy your archival fortunes on this. It's not worth it. And we are back to our Malagrific Ichor, which if you want to have a mount that looks pretty neat, yeah, I mean, you can have this bad boy. So overall, could be worth it, but it's a steep price point to get in at just to have a pony that looks like it's been abducted by Hermaeus Mora. And the 6th house robe recovered last week. You get it from a public dungeon. Not worth doing. Definitely not worth 7,000 archival fortunes. This is probably worth 3,000 to 4,000 gold on the ESO open market on console. Maybe a little bit more on the PC market, but please don't get tempted to buy something like this. But everyone, thank you guys so much again for watching. You are my favorite group of people. So much my favorite group of people that it is no contest. I play this game and I play Ark, and the reason that we were delayed on videos is because of all the hoopla that goes on every time I play Ark. And you could see here, some interesting messages posted in the Salt chat. People are not happy that I even play ESO, and the community there is not very happy that my tribe even exists over there because it's a PvP setting, and I spent all of this morning getting DDoSed and doxed, and it's just funny because it's like, I know what my IP address is. I live here. You don't need to tell it to me. Like, I know where I live. I don't get lost when I'm on my way home. I mean, I was out at the time, so it was helpful to get back home. But unfortunately, that's the reason for the delay. But thank you guys so much again. And we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers. I could physically smell it in the air. Second thing you need to do is just leave a comment. Answer the question that I asked you earlier. And then third thing is just look out for a random Amazon gift card code, and then we will be able to get yourself a nice little Amazon reward. So thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you guys. I really do mean that. Excited to see you guys in Norway. Excited to be able to talk to you guys more in Discord. Feel free to join the Discord in the link below. Send me a message on Discord. Talk to me. Don't send me my IP address ideally, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.